Hello mates and welcome to the Baron Reviews with me, the Baron. Today's game is Saga of the Void Admirals, previously called Capital Ship VR, a space real-time strategy for the Oculus Rift and Vive by Rolls Core Studios. First of all, I think the developer of the game deserves much praise for trying something new and risky by undertaking something novel in VR at this point in time. It's very clear to see the inspiration that derived from Homeworld, and that's cool, but the real killer for me is the lack of strategy in this real-time strategy part of the game. You have the ability to order troops, but there's no buildings to be built, no workers or mining resources, nor is there any form of battlefield maneuvering, so essentially all battles begin and end with each side stockpiling as many troops as resources allow, then swarming each other in a really cool looking but ultimately shallow space battle. You kinda just set it all up and then watch it happen. In fact, this setup and let loose gameplay makes me think that Saga has more in common with gratuitous space battles than it does with any other space RTS game. One element that's really unique however is there's a really cool ability to sit in your ship in first person mode, which is very cool, but again, the inability to shoot and actively participate in combat means besides looking cool, it's essentially a function without meaning, and just feels like a missed opportunity. The campaign mode offers scenarios with increasing difficulty, but the lack of story means there's no real sense of stakes or investment for these missions. So for example, the mission text is telling me we must destroy these space pirates, but why do I care? There's also skirmish modes allowing for bots, teams and match customization, which is an excellent addition. The graphics in the game are very good, but not in a realistic sense. It's very peculiar, but when I'm looking down on these ships, I get the distinct feeling that I'm watching toy models flying around. It's odd, but actually quite cool. The audio in the game is okay, nothing particularly outstanding or novel, but all the usual space sound effects are there. The control scheme took some getting used to. You can zoom in super close or far out, but it took me quite a while to understand that when I zoomed in, I was actually being zoomed into the motion controller's location. Once I realised that, the system actually makes good sense. Locomotion is achieved by dragging yourself, as well as being able to click to teleport to ships. As a result, VR sickness was non-existent for me, which is great. The only hassle with this movement style is that it doesn't scale, so when you're zoomed out, you can quickly and essentially traverse vast amounts of space by dragging yourself an arm's length. But when you zoom in so that you're closer to life-size scale, that same drag motion now moves you the equivalent of about 3 feet, which is pretty much useless. I'm not sure what would be best for combat in this, but as it stands it means you pretty much have to stay zoomed out if you want to do stuff besides just watching. An option exists to lock the camera onto a ship, but it's not very practical, and the view is pretty limited. As for controlling troops, a tutorial is offered, but I found the controller configuration was not super intuitive, at least on the touch. Overall, Saga the Void feels like it was built upon a really great idea, but that it wrapped up a little too early. If this were an early access game, I think I would have been much more likely to recommend it based on its potential, because it certainly looks like it's shaping into something incredible, but by calling this the final product, I can only say that feels a little lackluster. The developer has a great community presence, and I really wouldn't be surprised if his next game builds on the experience to achieve something incredible. But for now, I think Saga the Void is not it. I will note the pricing is excellent at under $8, so you might still want to pick this one up if you just want to check out how cool it looks, but do temper your expectations that this won't be a deep real-time strategy that you might be expecting. So that's it from the Baron. If you're interested in this game, you can find it in the link below, and if you like this review, please remember to like and subscribe. Until next time, cheers.